All right, so what we're going to do is a split stance hinge. Now, we've done a variety of different hinging motions or deadlift type motions in our prior exercises. This is kind of the middle between a single leg Romanian deadlift and just a double leg Romanian deadlift. So it's right in the middle. The benefit of this exercise is that, listen, when you're in a single leg Romanian deadlift and you have no support, just as we had talked about, when you put hand support on, it allows you to keep your center of mass, your center of gravity, a little bit more in the middle of your body, because what will tend to happen, like if you're walking, for example, you're going to shift your center of gravity over your foot as you walk, which is normal. But when we lose strength and stability in our hips and or our trunk and or our foot, we tend to bring our center of mass further over the foot, and we get this position in our hip, which can stress our back and our hips as well. So to strengthen the glutes, we might want to do a single leg Romanian deadlift, but here's the thing. If you already have that weakness and you can't control the position of your pelvis, you're just going to simply go into a single leg Romanian deadlift and you're going to shift your hip over, putting your center of mass over top of your foot, which means less work for those muscles that have to upright your pelvis in that position. So when you have your other foot down or your other hand down, it allows you to actually shift your center of mass, in this case, to my right relative to my foot. What does that mean? Longer lever arm on this muscle right here. That muscle has to work actually harder. You would think that when I go into a supporting position with this foot, well, that must be easier on my glute. No, it's not, because I'm able to keep my center of mass a little bit to the right, and that puts more load on this left side. Now, I'm not pushing off this back foot. I'm just using it to stabilize my position so that I can drive off my left foot. So the technique is the same for the deadlift. I'm going to put my left foot down right next to the kettlebell. So my base of my big toe is about even with the handle. My back foot is relatively close to my front, so don't lunge back with this. You want to be, maybe a foot to a foot and a half behind that back foot, and the toe is barely touching. You should be able to do this. You're not shifting back into this foot. You should be able to just do this, and you're just using it for balance. And then you're going to go into your hinge. Okay, and let's practice that a couple times and then drive up. Now, when you finish on the top of this, your hip should be right over top of your foot, and your shoulders should be right over top of your hip. A lot of people will finish this movement back here. Their hips are behind them. You got to drive from the floor and drive that hip forward. Okay? So, hinge, grab, connect through this left foot. Back leg should be really light, just there for balance. And then drive off that left foot, finishing your tall stand. Slowly hinge. Reset. Drive off that foot, finishing that tall stand. Slowly hinge. Connect through that front foot, drive off, drive up to your tall stand. Now, little tip, to initiate that drive through your hips, it can help if you take your free hand and actually think drive through. It's like you're throwing a ball through like a fast pitch, and that's going to help you kind of drive up through the hips. So come through. This hand starts back, and then drive up to your tall stand. Should really feel that back body light up. Hamstring, glute should be working real hard. Drive off, tall stand, control your hinge back down. Let's try the other side. So, big toe, adjacent to the handle. Back foot is light, but on the ground. Control your hinge. Feel that posterior chain. Should feel a little bit of tension in that hamstring. Should really feel that glute work to stabilize your hips. Grab, brace, tall stand. There you go. So that's your split hinge. I really like this exercise. It's surprising. Again, you would think that is easier on your glute because you have that foot down relative to perhaps a single leg version. I think it's actually harder. And the thing is, you can load it heavier. So you can add more weight to the exercise with that back foot down. And more load means more work. More work means you get stronger. Have fun with that.